Thank you everyone for joining us as we dive back into our Ravenloft Masters of Dread campaign. My name is Trevor. I am your DM storyteller guide tonight, and I am joined by two players tonight as we move closer to our finale. And as we get down, we're going to talk to our two players, and our first introduction is the man below me in the amazing beard, long hair, blue shirt. What's the shirt tonight?
If anybody in the chat gets this shirt, I mean, we're pretty much soulmates, okay? And
all right.
I'll send you something. I got tons of stuff. I'll send you something.
Does it say
no
furries?
Don't come back.
Does it say? What does it say? Does it say furries?
No, it says Furies, and I know all I have to say is Coke bottles clink together, Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it. I got you. All right. So, Danny, what are you playing with for us tonight? What's your character?
It is Durandal, the Dampier Swarmkeeper Ranger, who I absolutely love. It's a very cool race. If you haven't read about it yet, it's one of the newer ones from Van Richten's, and it's very cool. Cool flavored class. Cool flavored race.
So after playing, 12 or 13 games of the new Ranger, what are your thoughts?
I like Swarmkeeper, and I think it goes well with Dampier perfectly.
With the bats and everything, yeah.
I
feel they really, I think, fixed Rangers, in my opinion. Like, I have been pretty impressed with your character. Yeah, I think the new version of Ranger is extremely strong. So it's very, very cool. All right, and moving down to the epic beard, the epic level beard, we have down at the bottom.
I'm Wes. I'm playing Xiv, the reborn. That's reborn, right?
Yeah.
Reborn barbarian, wild magic.
Wild magic. So this is really your first beater you've ever played. Like, you've never really played like a straight, like, hard melee class.
Yep.
How have you liked playing Xiv?
There are times where I wish I had multi-class just to have more, like, when you're like, what are you going to do? I look and I'm like, attack, great sword. Other actions.
Right.
Not so much.
Right. That being said, I have enjoyed your take on playing a barbarian, because there are so many times that you're playing, I forget you're playing a barbarian because you're playing it so uniquely than I've seen other people play. It's very, very refreshing take on the characters. I've really enjoyed that. And I like how your take on the rage mechanic has been extremely cool to see with the wild magic abilities as well. So I've enjoyed your character. I know it's been a different take for you because Wes has always played either a caster or a rogue. Like, he's some type of, like, wizard or something. A druid was, I think, the last thing you played. But you're the master of spells. So to take a step back and say, I'm going to beat the crap out of something.
I could see an interesting build where you're a barbarian with, like, one level of warlock. So you have, like, I don't know if they get the ritual stuff at 1 or 2, but just being able to do some, like, and having like like your barbarian side be like your patron is infusing you or something. I could see that would be a very cool
very interesting
build.
It's a very civilized barbarian. Barbarian warlock. I have to toy around with that build. That sounds interesting. All right, so that's our players as we are going to be diving back into our game. So welcome back as we get into Ravenloft and we dive back in. And we're always going to begin at a familiar place. We're going to go back into, as the story opens up, we return to Waterdeep, and we zoom in and we see the Troll Skull Manor. And we hear familiar music. Let me go ahead and get that queued up for us. As we go back into the tavern and we see a familiar scene. We see the minstrel who's been telling this tale, Marcus Madmore. And Marcus is going and greeting everyone, and he goes, welcome everyone, come on in, grab your seats. I see Ghost and Headstone and Hobbit and oh, Sunshine, you're back, and Bela, please, come on in. And as he's coming in, everyone's kind of coming in, and everyone's kind of got their, not assigned seating at this point, but everyone's like, hey, we know these are, hey, we sit here every week. So everybody's coming to their regular tables and getting their meals picked out. Tonight we've returned to venison as that is the meat of the night. And people are getting some mead and wine and things. And everything's being poured. And everyone's excited to hear what the next chapter of this tale is that Marcus has been telling. And one thing that is different about tonight is you see him standing there next to the fire. And as he's standing next to the fire and everyone's kind of gathering in, and he seems to be going over and he's having a conversation. And we saw this before, where he seems to be talking to himself. And as he goes, you hear him talking, and Sunshine, who is sitting closest, peers in and is listening to what he is saying. And he seems to be conversing to someone who is not there. And Sunshine, you look at him and you go, is this person, is he truly mad, this Marcus Madmore? And then you hear him say something that really shocks you as he goes, thank you, Baka. Thank you so much for the message. And you realize that he seems to be talking to the turtle that the story began with, and that has been missing all of these weeks. And as you're sitting there and he's telling the story, it becomes relevant that Baka has been the one telling him the story that he is now telling everyone else, that somehow he's conversing to the spirit right here who is almost talking through Marcus as he is telling the story. And as that happens, and Sunshine, you sit back down and you kind of take a look and see, kind of puzzled, because you kept thinking at some point would the story turn back and we'd find out what happened to Baka. But at this point we realize that maybe Baka didn't make it and his spirit is here. And with that, Marcus lowers the music, and as he does that, he brings up his other music, and as he does, he says, "Thank you all for joining us. If we please all have a seat." And as the lights begin to dim again, he goes, "We will go back and finish the next part of our story as we return now to the land of Harakir." And as he does that, he opens up his hand, and the white orb appears in his hand, as it always does. And as he does that, his hand begins to circle above the orb itself. The orb begins to grow and grow, and as it does, the shade of the orb itself turns from a white, like a milky white, to yellow and orange as this haze kind of opens up. And as he does, it opens back up, and we return to the scene of this lost temple in the desert. And it seems that several days have passed since our last visit, as we saw, and now we see that the two individuals, Durandal and Xiv, are kind of walking about the temple. Braziers are lit, everything is lit back up and clean, and there is a third individual walking about, clad in like this golden armor and carrying a blade that Xiv used to carry himself. And that is where we pick up, is the scene of the temple itself. And now this is where we are. So let me just do a little bit of cleanup. So at this point, we are back in the temple. It has been several days since our last. Let's put our paladin friend here as well. As they're back in the altar room, and they're kind of having this conversation. When we last saw our individuals, they had just resurrected this long-lost champion, this champion known as Drake, this paladin, who was a worshiper of the sun god. And as he is kind of talking, and they seem to be discussing plans of what their next move in is, and that is where we return to the action. And as we do that, we see Durandal. You're kind of pacing about the room, because the plan that Drake is coming up with it just seems to be a little bit harder for you to comprehend. This idea that this whole time you've been trying to figure out, for you personally, to find a way to get back to your father. And to reconnect your mother, but this has kind of been a pit stop as you've been trying to help your friend Xiv get reconnected to his lost love, who is still imprisoned by this world, this domain of Harakir that you're in. And the plan that Drake is coming up with seems to be dangerous, if to say the least. He seems to believe that in order to beat Ankhtepot, the Pharaoh who lords over this land, you must actually help Ankhtepot complete his task, complete his mission of finding his lost soul. Only then, according to Drake, is he vulnerable, and you'll be able to defeat him. So, in essence, you have to help Ankhtepot in order to open up an opportunity to complete the task that Xiv needs. Now, Xiv, you hear this plan, and the part of the plan that you're uncomfortable with is not just the fact that you're helping Ankhtepot in some way, but also that Drake seems to believe that the soul that has been missing, that everyone has been searching for, is hidden in the belly of the sand kraken that seems to be something that levels cities. And his plan is to somehow extract that. And that is where we pick up the story tonight, as our two companions are having this conversation several days later as the three of you are there. So we'll pick up the action. We'll start with Durandal. So Durandal, you're basically the three that are having this conversation. Drake is standing there very matter-of-factly, looking at a table on the map of everything and kind of conversing with you and stating very plainly, this is the way. This is the way to do it. His amulet that you once carried is still on him, around him. The sun amulet is still around. The amulet of now you learn is the amulet of, not of the old gods, but of Pelor, his patron that he worships. And he looks at you and he goes, Master Durandal, you seem troubled by this plan.
I think you need to hit us with a picture of Drake real quick, like.
Oh, I may have to pause. I don't know if I've got that. Let me see.
That sexy mofo.
Let me see. Hang on. I will have to pause. You're right. I should have that. Sunshine says...
Sexy Mufu, though?
Alright, we're going to take a quick pause because he's right. I should bring this person up, so give me 1 second. Let me pull it
I'll
up.
pull Xiv to the side. I'm with you, Xiv. This seems like suicide, but I will gladly march into it. To save.
Wasn't there a gnome here?
Yes, so this has been several days. Gazmir has been sent on a special errand that Drake has sent him back to Muhar on a special... he didn't really say what he sent him there for, but he did send him, and he was kind of dodgy about it. So, Durandal, the three of you are having this conversation. You're having this conversation with the golden armor with the giant blade on his back, Drake with and he's looking about and saying, what... Master Durandal, do you have an issue with this plan? You seem troubled.
How well do you know this Ankhtepot? Have you had dealings with him in the past?
I do. I crossed blades with him, in fact. I couldn't beat him. Because...
Was this with the soul or without the soul?
Without. He was unstoppable. No blow I could land would do anything to him. He was impervious to all attacks.
How did you end up here in this temple?
Well, we fought, but in the end, I was defeated by him. I was imprisoned here in some way. But it was in the afterlife that Pelor showed me. I saw the error of the folly of my plan was I could not defeat him because it was not a task that could be done unless I helped him with the one thing that he needed, his soul. He longs for his soul that he can feel. But that is what we need him to do. We need him to feel the blade as we stab him.
So, slay the beast, gather the soul, give it to him, and then slay him.
Yes.
I know this should help with Nylissa, and if we can curry favor with anyone of power afterwards by doing this, it might send us somewhere else, somewhere home, perhaps.
Perhaps. I have a feeling that if we have Ankhtepot's soul, we could probably just waltz right through the front door. I mean, we're bringing it to him.
And Drake
That's
goes,
true.
No, I think this beast, this sand kraken, I do not mean for us to defeat it. All we have to do is simply let Ankhtepot know where it is at. Let him beat it.
Well, then we have to make sure we're there at the moment he receives it.
That is correct. We must find a way to blend in with his forces.
Well, they're rather skeletal, so that might be a problem.
Not according to your friend Gazmir.
The living ones.
The living.
Yeah.
These Kirans.
I'm afraid that me and you might stand out, my friend.
It's possible. I believe
Do you have the picture?
Oh,
haven't seen it.
everyone is looking at it, but not you. I have it. Everyone in chat has it. It's just you're not seeing it.
I don't know who came up with that character, but God, I love that man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Somebody long ago in another land came up with this character, right? Danny's old character has returned. Yes, and chat is impressed with this character. So Drake's plan seems to be to lead Ankhtepot to this Kraken, and then once he's done the task, move in for the kill.
I think I know a way of relaying the information.
How do you propose we do that, Xiv?
Well, it just so happens that I made pretty decent friends with a priestess of Ankhtepot. And left, I think, on good terms. Durandal tried to burn the city down, but I just walked out the door, so should be okay.
It was a gender reveal party. I apologize.
So, do you believe you could have court with this priestess and she would believe you?
Oh yes, I'm rather believable.
That's right. You were on good terms.
All right.
We
Well-
do have a sending stone back to the cat people from that city.
Oh,
Hmm.
sending
I
stone.
could find out what the temperament of the city is currently.
Yes.
That could work.
I would get out the sending stone and think about, do I know how to use this?
That is
Then
an
I would-
excellent question. Give me an Arcana check.
We're gonna have no clue how to. Reception.
Well,
I have no reception.
full knowledge of a past life on this one too.
Gotcha.
So that's a D6. So Arcana. Oh,
The first roll of the night as we shake off the dust and we get back in here.
It's going. Yes.
+5. +2.
Okay.
So 23.
You do. Now, what do you want to? It seems to activate. You sense this like this burnt smell of ozone kind of give off on your hand as you're holding this. It looks like a rock. You feel a little silly talking to this rock, except for the strange arcane markings on the rock. What is it you would like to say?
Hello over there.
Hello. Who is this?
Hello, I'm Xiv.
Oh, Xiv. Yes, you are champion. You are champion. Yes, this is Siba. You talked to my cousin earlier, but I'm Siba.
Yes, I remember. Your cousin was in the cage, correct?
Yes. Well, do you have
See the
news?
little one.
This seems to be a different one.
Oh. What's his line cut off?
I'm
Grab
back.
it from him.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Second.
Okay. Sorry, it was a bad connection, Siba.
Well, do you have news?
What is the temperament like in the city currently? Is the priestess still there?
Yes, she's still here. We've all had to move outside the city. We run errands in the city to see what we can liberate from her. But she is here. Do you mean to come back and to free us?
Well, I'm going to talk to her.
Oh, good. She seems to be imprisoning anyone that she finds and torturing them, looking for answers.
Oh, that sounds not pleasant. I hope none of your friends or family.
Oh, most of them, yes.
Oh, well, I'll try to talk to her about that.
Oh, good.
Yes.
You'll be here soon. I'll tell the others.
All right. Well, try not to get in any cages.
I'll do my best. See you soon.
Xiv out.
Hello? Oh, okay, and it just kind of cuts out. Drake looks over and goes, "That was a very curious person you were talking to. Was it a child?"
I don't know how old he is in cat years. I couldn't tell you.
Cat years? Are all the people in this town cats?
Not all, but a large portion.
Interesting.
They seem to be worshippers of followers of you, Drake.
Me? They shouldn't be worshipping me, but Pelor, I am simply a servant.
I believe they worship Pelor, but they don't know his name. They just know him as an old god.
These lands have changed much since I was the lord of them. We walked outside and the desert just... These lands used to be lush and bountiful and beautiful.
It's kind of gone downhill since then.
What's this Ankhtepot's doing?
I believe so. The land seemed to be poisoned in some way upon his arrival, and that mist that guards the shores. You know, this land was an island.
Okay. How long do you think you've been asleep?
I don't know, it's hard to tell. Some centuries, I suppose. And just to see the disarray of this temple.
Was it fairly new?
It was under construction.
Oh, yes. It's been quite some time then. So, how do you want to do this, Xiv? How do we intercept him as he's getting his soul?
Well, I believe that once they know the scale of the enemy they're going to be facing, it shouldn't be too hard to follow the
We could make our way back to the city and you could go speak to your priestess friend.
Yes, and if you could contact your shady friend.
Yeah. We haven't seen or heard from Baltazar in quite a while.
I'm sure he could follow where they're moving, because we don't know where the Sand Kraken is, but I'm sure it's not hard to find something that large.
And Drake pipes in, How about this? But the two of you go and relay the message to summon the forces of Ankhtepot and hopefully him himself. I will journey into the desert to find this Kraken and lure it to this place. Where's this place you're going? Could you show me on a...
I have a map.
Oh, you do? Alright, so with that, we'll go to the map. Okay, so you're here at the Bent Pyramid.
Okay.
So...
And Muhar.
In Muhar, right. So you show him the map and he looks at it and he goes, I will see if I can find this Kraken and lure it out, this worm. I know the worm is old. It was young in my days. It seems to have gotten bigger.
A bit.
What do you mean a bit? How big?
Devour whole swaths of people at the same time?
Pelor will grant me a steed, I'm sure. Will be fleet of hoof, if you will.
Make sure it has no problem with sand.
I will see. We'll travel to Muhar, if you will, and he's looking at this map. This oasis.
Yes.
It's near there, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just north.
Just north.
Keep an eye out for my old friend.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. We'll hit the oasis on the way back then.
The river spirit, you said. I am sure that is Dinair.
Ah. Sounds good.
Well then, sounds like we have a plan. So we won't know how to contact you, so you have to come to us.
Well, make haste, because once I come in contact with that thing, it will be quick.
Well,
sounds good.
Let's get a move on, Durandal.
Yes.
So, with that, Drake bids the happy, safe travels as you go and you pick up your camels that you've had this whole time. And you two begin the slow and somewhat arduous journey back. Now, you do also have your steed, Durandal, so it's one camel and one horse. But the two of you begin making your way back to Muhar. It's several days as you're traveling through the desert. And as you travel, you see the thing that you're having to keep an eye on is that there seems to be, as you pass the pyramids and the different the rocky terrain, you're keeping a lookout because to your left, to the south, as you're traveling, you're seeing this storm that just keeps swirling and kicking up things, and it seems to just kind of be moving. It never comes terribly close to you, but you can just see it on the horizon. It is the same storm that you first met when you got here, Durandal, that pushed you into the earth. That the hand of Ankhtepot is constantly tearing up the terrain, looking for his Ka, the soul. And as the two of you make your way, several days pass. We're going to kind of montage past the travel. As you're traveling, you see several of these large undead flying things that are going out and about. There's been several times that you've been traveling enough at this point. You know how to stop and find water in the desert from this cactus plant. So Durandal, you're able to kind of use your skills to keep yourself fed and yourself hydrated. Xiv doesn't seem to have a problem with that at all. So it's very easy for you to only fend for yourself out here when you're not having to gather for multiple people. Outside of your steeds, it's really not terribly difficult. Over the next several days, you travel, and in the very distance, you see the crest of trees that are popping up. As you see, you've basically made it to the bank of the oasis itself. As you get to the oasis, you look about, and you see... you don't see any boats or anything in the water, but in the distance you do see a large a fountain of land, and it's cut out, and you see water that is cut through. You see the tributaries kind of feeding out into it. You see the eternal river that feeds it in the distance, and basically the Nile River that feeds it as it opens up into this giant oasis. And you're basically standing on the top of this place. Is there anything that you would like to do?
He said to be on the lookout for his friend, the river spirit. I think we should get as many allies as we possibly can.
Okay.
What say you, Xiv?
If you think we should proceed to the water, I don't see a problem with that. I'm sure the camel would enjoy it.
So the four of you, counting your seeds, make it down to the water. It is near the end of the day as the sun is setting. What is it? We'll go to Durandal first. Durandal, what do you want to do?
Shall we set up camp, Xiv, and try in the morning? Or should we try to summon the spirit now?
I wouldn't know how to summon the spirit, but I'm all for trying.
What did he
Why don't
call
you,
his sun god? Pelor?
Pelor.
Let us invoke the name of Pelor at the shore.
Pelor at the shore.
What is it you would like to say, Durandal?
I'll walk up to the shore and just say, mighty sun god Pelor, if you hear me, Drake has sent us on this path. Let he who is ally to him please come forth, if possible.
Give me a religion check.
Oh, good. I have a nothing in that. Okay.
Sounded great. A mighty 3. As you say that, the only thing that you hear the wind rippling across the water. Other than that, doesn't seem to do anything. Xiv, you hear this. It sounded good. What would you like to do?
I'm going to turn to Xiv and say, Xiv, I do drink people's blood. I don't know if the sun god would necessarily answer me. Why don't you try?
Okay. I'm going to leave my sword here. Can you watch it for me?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to take off my top layer of desert wear.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk into the water.
Ah,
just
you're
keep
in the
walking
water. Okay.
till I'm well underwater.
Okay. Right, so
And
you just immerse yourself in the water itself. Okay.
I'm going to sit down on the bottom.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk into the water. And
Nice. Because
I figure
as
if
a
it's a river
reborn,
spirit, it can understand.
and you don't have to breathe underwater anyway because you don't
Correct.
need air, right? So you can just basically go and Durandal, you watch as he just like submerses himself into the oasis. He just disappears into the water, and he's just gone. So as you're sitting at the bottom of this oasis, what are you mumbling as a what are you trying to get across?
Well, first I'm going to sit and contemplate a little bit and think back to dealings with spirits and the divine and try to recall anything that I may have known in the past that are in recesses of either my brain or someone else's brain.
Okay.
And
so you're going to use your knowledge of the past racial ability to do a religion check, but what are you actually going to say? What's the actual invoking?
I'm going to say, Dinah here, your friend Drake has asked us to seek your help. Will you come to our aid?
Give me a religion check and give yourself your bonus for knowledge of the past. It sounded good.
Well, that's a 1.
Oh, we got a natty 1.
Maybe he can't hear gurgle talk.
You can't hear gurgle talk. You sit down there for a while, and it's dead silence. With that, an hour passes as you're sitting down there. Durandal, you kind of starting getting a little concerned as he's just disappeared. There's no rippling in the water at all. Xiv, you eventually come back out, and you don't really, as you're going back in your knowledge, everything, you don't know if Malagris was ever a religious type. I don't know if he ever prayed in his life, and yet that might have been the first time for you as you come out of the water and just kind of think this whole thing's kind of ridiculous.
As I come out of the water, I'm going to say, I don't think he's in there.
How about this, Xiv? If he was a worshiper of the sun, perhaps we should try again at dawn. There is no sun out right now.
I can't argue with that logic.
Okay.
We need to camp anyway.
So, you camp. In the middle of the night, as you've gotten your rest after the camp, we're just kind of fast forwarding here. In the middle of the night, in the distance, you can see a glow in the very far distance that would be Muhar. And you're kind of watching as this glow of the city in the far distance. And you just, both of you just kind of wonder, like the last time that you left Muhar, it was all hell was breaking loose with, summoning the angel and setting the town on fire. And it was just kind of recalling everything that happened the last time that the two of you were in Muhar. And we go into morning, we wake up and we see the, Durandal, you unearth yourself as you camp in the ground itself. Xiv, you just kind of go into sentry mode as you just sit there and just kind of quiet and be still. And you hear, the thing that's different with being in the oasis is being in the desert itself is you actually have life and vegetation and things are actually moving about. And it's very different. And it's actually comforting. As sort of being out in the barren wasteland as you've been in the last several days. As morning comes and as sun crests over the horizon, Xiv, what would you like to do?
I'd like to try it again.
Okay.
This time I'll be above water.
Okay.
Well, same thing.
All right. So this time, as the sun is rising and the light begins to cascade over the water itself, you repeat your plea. I won't make you do it again, but go ahead and we'll give you another roll at it. Give me a religion check and then your knowledge of the past, and dig for it. And last shot before you head back to Muhar to see if this Dynahera river spirit is actually real or not. And it's probably not.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's not here as far as I can tell.
He's not here. This isn't working. All right. You've wasted enough time in your opinion. You're like, whatever. So with that, you two get back on your horses and camel, your mounts, and you head south back to Muhar. Durandal, as you're leaving, you look behind you, the horse. You just wonder, what was the purpose of this? Is this Drake crazy? to send you on this fool's errand, but you just kind of, whatever. And the two of you continue to head south to Muhar. As the two of you go and get closer to the city itself, you see it is different than the last time you here. There are holes in the wall. There are things that are being repaired. You see scaffolding kind of being built around some of the buildings that are trying to repair. There's still a lot of work being done to repair everything that had happened previously. But the two of you get up, and now as you're riding up, you see several guards kind of look at and wave, and merchants, travelers, come, as the guards are kind of welcoming you to the town.
Durandal, did anyone see you before we left this town?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Did anyone see you involved in any of this tomfoolery
No.
that went on?
Well, not that I know of. It was mass chaos, and then I hopped the wall.
Do you think it'd be
Because I read
better
the
if I
scroll.
approached by myself?
I read the scroll and caused diversion.
So we're gonna split the party.
No,
You-
take our chances together.
You sure?
You can.
Might.
You can.
If
I
you were,
think-
if Xiv would recall that she liked you.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
Why don't you?
yeah, I'll approach.
I'll look for our former allies.
No offense, my friend, but you seem to get in a lot of scuffles. Maybe a more gentlemanly approach is the best way to go about this.
Absolutely.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to split the scene. We're going to have two different conversations happen here. We're going to start with Durandal outside the city, and then we'll go back to Xiv inside the city. Okay, so we're going to have two different scenes. So the first thing we're going to start with is Durandal. Now, Durandal, as you see Xiv, leave his camel outside and walk into the city, getting all ready to go in and have his audience. You see him kind of disappearing, kind of talking to some of the guards and people, and kind of getting directed. You kind of skirt back outside the city as you kind of returning to the scene of the crime, if it were, and just kind of looking around, kind of covering your face a little bit, make sure you don't get recognized. So you're outside the city itself. So let's pull up the city map.
I'm also now clean. 'Cause-
Yes, you are. You took a bath. It's the first time in the entire campaign that Xiv took a bath. So
Do
basically,
constructs get body odor?
it is decayed flesh, so
Yeah.
it can't
kinda just
smell.
have it
It
natural.
can't smell great. All right. So what's happening here is, as the two of you are separated, Durandal, you're outside the city. There's a lot of merchants and things happening. There's tents set up outside the city itself, and we're coming in on the north end of town. So you're up on the top end here. If you'll recall,
Okay.
this large building here is where the priestess was, but up here at the top.
I
As
remember down
yes.
here was the hideout.
Correct. So there's also a way that, I guess the question is, with all these guards, you're going to go through the city, you're going to try to go around the city, what are you going to try to do?
As Xiv is walking away, I'm going to throw him a couple of gold and say, "Buy yourself a nice hat, friend."
Oh.
And I'm going to ride with the camel in tow
Well, okay.
around the city.
Okay.
I definitely don't want to walk past this the priestess's place.
Okay.
I feel much safer down at the south end of the city.
As you are riding around, you do see an encampment outside the town that with you see like three wagons encircled. You see like the purple drapes and the royal blue drapes, and you see basically they've set up this massive tent around those three. So you have the three wagons circling, and then you have a large like canvas tent casting shade, and it's almost like a really dark, to you welcoming as this darker area. And you see several ladies walking about, totally like wearing their garb and their headdress and everything. And as you look over, you recognize the garb of the lady that brought you here, of the Vistani.
Oh, I will definitely gallop.
Okay. All right. As you ride over, you do see the first lady looking over at you, and she looks at it. Now she's got like the like almost like a blood red a turban with like the drape across her face, so you can only see like the slit of her eyes. And she looks over and goes, "Ah, traveler, please, please. If you have coin, we have ware."
What sundries do you deal in, madam?
And she looks over and goes, and as give me a quick perception check.
Got a +7.
24. As she looks up at you, you notice that her eye color is off and has like a yellowish hue to them. And she looks up to you. She goes, "Oh, we help people get from one place to the other, or anything else that you would desire." And as she's saying that, you sense something is very off with this person.
I'm gonna look at the others. Are they close by?
You do see two others that kind of looking at you.
I'm gonna look at their eyes too to see if they're kind of that yellow.
Yeah, they all seem to have a yellowish hue to their eyes.
Okay. Oh, like, ma'am, I believe you have jaundice. What is wrong with your eyes?
Jaundice? I don't believe we have that ware here.
You look sickly in the eyes.
And she goes, "Oh, it is the sun, this blasted sun in this land. It bothers my eyes."
Why don't you go and get that taken care of by the herbalists?
"Oh no, it's okay. We can take care of all things here. We don't trust the medicines of this land."
This land? Where are you from?
Well, we are the Vastani. We travel here and there, and we are merely passing through.
Are you passing through the realm or the land?
The realm.
Where did you come from before?
Oh, our last travels took us to a place that was much more hospitable than this place. That the sun was not as overshadowing and overbearing. It was more to my liking, and actually all of our likings. Have you traveled beyond this realm? Do you know of Barovia?
I've heard of it. That's not where we were from, though, was it?
No.
No. I'd say I've heard of it,
Oh.
but I don't know much about it.
Well, we could take you there. It is not where we're going next, but we could take you there. Do you have coin or gems or something to trade?
I have no desire to see Barovia, but I forget the land I was from. We ever say the name of it?
Verone.
Verone. I was like, I've also heard tale of a land called Verone.
I've not traveled there. I'll have to ask my master. If you will wait here, I will see if that is somewhere we could travel. Can you wait here?
Sure.
You see her kind of go and get into one of the caravans and slightly tap on the door. You hear a growl at the door, and she goes, "Oh, Lord, we have a visitor." And you kind of hear a muffled voice in the distance. There's still more growling, and the door slowly opens, and you just the darkness. She looks in and goes, Have we traveled to Verone?" And you hear this voice go, "Verone? Who's asking?" And the door opens, and you see Balthazar appear from the caravan.
I'm gonna walk up to him with the arm and be, Balthazar!
Durandal! Durandal, welcome. Have you met some of my newfound allies?
Oh, so that's why their eyes are slightly different.
Well, they've decided to join the cause. Only took a little bit of convincing.
Oh, I see. Don't let Xiv know.
Oh,
Don't let Xiv know.
Oh, I see, yes. But they've agreed to help us get back to the land of where we need to go.
Where are you? Oh, back to Lord Brunwald.
Yes. I was waiting.
Where have you been, friend?
I was looking and camping out for this. It doesn't matter what we get back from Ankhtepot if we have no way to get home. So, I hunted them down, and I kept the useful ones.
Shrewd, slightly evil, but shrewd. Just, if Xiv comes around, these are friends. They require no coercion.
Of course. Where have you been these many days?
Oh, we went northeast to the Bent Pyramid.
Did you find anything
Found
of useful there? Did you gain any allies? Treasures?
Champion.
A
Champion of the Sun God.
Oof.
I know.
Oof. I don't know how I feel
I think
about
I'm only
that.
half.
Right.
Yes.
He didn't sense you out.
I don't know. He didn't seem to. He gave me lots of pamphlets about his god. And
One of those, I see. Well,
yes.
tell you what. And he reaches down and he pets Magdalene, who's right by the door, who still is abated from the growling. And he goes, yes, it's okay, Magdalene, it's okay. Well, we are ready to move. We are still planning on taking the book away from Ankhtepot, and then we'll travel back to Lord Brunwald.
Ooh, I have news then.
Oh,
I'll
you
just
do?
tell him the plan without going into the whole plan,
All right, so you spend some time talking, and he tells you the plan. He goes, so this champion, one of two things is going to happen. Either one, that damn sandworm is going to kill him, and that's a good thing. Or he actually is successful and brings this thing here, and then might be opportunistic. In fact, if the plan works, Ankhtepot may actually have the book on him.
Right.
I will be ready. In the moment that actually happens, I will be ready to grab the book. I will have my allies ready for us to make a quick exit. I don't think I necessarily want to coerce with your sun god champion friend.
Yes. He seems rather pleasant, but Sun Empire,
Pleasant. It's the worst.
Yes. Okay. Well, I was going to go into the city. I'm going to ask him if he knows where the kind of resistance is. The cat resistance.
Yes. There's not many of them left. They did not fare well, apparently, in the last several days, but there's an encampment out. I believe that they've gone underground, if you will, trying to hide in the catacombs below the city.
What would be the safest and way into these catacombs? From here.
Well, I'm sure we could show you a way. I've gone down there some.
Mm. Meals?
Yes.
Not the cats.
Well, there's fewer of them now.
Oh, jeez. Oh, good. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, don't let Xiv know. He will not take kindly to cat blood, I'm sure. Okay. Yes, if you'll send me to this.
Sure. But it's just like eating chicken. It's nothing horrible.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes. Well, you are welcome here. Once you go and find whatever information you need, I'll be here, and I will send people out to scout to see if your champion friend is successful or not. I will let you know.
I forget, why does he wants the book for his lord?
Correct. Remember, Ankhtepot and Brunwald seem to be rivals, and he wants the power that Ankhtepot has.
Right. Rival sorcerer type. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I will be back soon.
Sure. Would you like a snack before you leave?
There are rats aplenty. I'm good with rats.
You're a better man than I. And with that, he slaps you on the shoulder, and that will end the scene there on your little foray outside the city. And we go back, and now we enter back into the scene with Xiv, who is talked to some of the person who was in charge before isn't really around anymore. There seems to have been some fatalities, and you go and you meet this lady who comes out and introduces herself as Adelina, and Adelina tells you, Oh, yes. Are you here to see my lord, the priestess? Another priestess, but seems to be elevated. Promotions seem to be handed out quite frequently when the older people are not around anymore.
Yes, I do wish that you would bid the priestess that her friend who was interested in the antiquities, she may remember me. My name is Xiv. Nice to meet you.
Oh, I will
I
let
tell her,
Rekotep. I will let the priestess know.
tell her I have information that will garner great favor with her lord.
Yes. I will let you and the echo know. There's a little bit of an echo. It might be from Danny's mic. I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm
All
trying to figure. I can hear Wes. I'm trying to.
Okay. All right. So with that, she disappears for a few moments. You look about the city. You notice that there seems to be a lot more guards around. It seems to be more like they're planning something, or they're more on guard. There seems to be more military around than you recall. But as you kind of looking about, only a few moments pass, and Adelina returns, and she kind of bows, and goes, "Oh yes, Master Ziv, I spoke to Rekotep, and she will see you soon. Just wait here." A few more moments pass, and you see some other people come out and kind of motion that it's time. And Adelina just now she's just created a gap in her schedule for you, so please be quick, be hasty. We're kind of just getting you in quickly.
This won't take long.
Right. So Adelina brings you in. You return to the scene of the palace. You see the large guarded men with like fanning the priestess as she walks in, still guard with the gold necklace and medallions and everything, and just like wearing the gossamer silk robes. As she walks in, and she looks up and goes, Ziv, you look quite differently. You've dressed differently from the last time you were here.
Yes, I've been in the desert.
Have you found any information on the car?
Oh, Rekotep. All I ask is that you remember my name.
Oh, this sounds very good.
I know.
And with that, she kind of sits up whenever you say that. Just, what have you found?
So, quickly outside of game.
Okay.
I figured she's not going to buy this if I just go in and just like, yep, here's your information. I don't want anything. So, kind of trying to make sure that it seems like I'm getting something in return.
Okay.
So, I'm going to say Rekotep. And I'm really going to play it up, the anticipation here.
Okay. Dramatic pause. Dramatic pause.
Do you want to know where Ankhtepot's car is?
Master Ziv, what lead have you found?
Do you trust all in this room, or should we have a smaller audience?
Oh no, everyone here is... We all serve Ankhtepot in life and in death. The ones that are here, I trust them. What have you found?
Because I could believe the reward is going to be... Oh. So...
And with that, she pauses, she goes, give me a persuasion check. We are
11.
rolling hot, folks. She goes, it's okay, just give me the information. What is it you have? I will determine if it's useful or not.
As you know, he's been looking for his car for quite some time. Long enough to where you believe he would have found it if it was somewhere that was easily attainable.
Of course, it goes without saying.
So, what is something here that has devoured a great many things?
When you say
great many temples. Great many...
Do you believe that kraken, the way you say devour, you believe that worm has something to do with it? That is interesting.
I have a source that is saying that it is very sure that the Kraken devoured it about 150 years ago.
That is very interesting. I will relay this message. Please, stay here. And with that, she gets up, and she walks to the back, and she sees... you see her and some... the guards are still here, but she and some of her servants disappear, and for a few moments, and you don't sweat or anything, but you do get a little nervous that you're like looking around, and you see all these kind of guards kind of like getting close and everything. You're like, what is all of this about? And with that, you also see some other people conferring back and forth. A few moments pass, and Rekotep comes back out, and she goes, my master believes you may be onto something, and he said he will investigate it. Do you know where this worm could be found? How could we find it?
For that, I don't know the dealings of worms, but something that large can't stay hidden for that long. Surely Octopod's forces don't have to just look everywhere now. Now they're looking for a worm.
It's true.
It's not like it can kill them.
Xiv, stay here in the palace as my guest, and let me talk to some of my generals and see if we can't. It's very interesting. We will see if we can't find this kraken, this worm.
I was hoping I could visit the haberdashery. Could you have? Is it okay if if you want me to stay in sight, I'll go.
Well, you should be dressed for the occasion, sir.
I agree.
Adelina, please, make sure Xiv is comfortable and be sure that he has proper garb and wear.
Oh.
All right. So Adelina goes and takes you to the back quarters, and they begin dressing you in a fine robe, a new hat. It's a full Egyptian hat that you're putting on.
To join a cult 101.
Right. So you are being totally dressed in your Egyptian garb, with your fine robe, and they also bring you a selection of rings that you could put on, a decorative ring as well.
Will they fit?
Well, they look at it. Yes, they all say they find one that fits one of your hands. Like the one that should be for the thumb fits on your pinky. It's like one of those things.
Well, I will look at them and admire them and say no silver.
Oh no, these are all gold, my friend.
I'm gonna open my arcane eye and
they are mundane.
Okay. No, put a few on.
Okay, so you take a selection of rings. So now you're walking around. You've got your bling.
I'm fancy.
You got your robes. You got your Egyptian hat. You're a sharp dressed golem walking about. That was nice. And as you are making your way, an hour or so passes. They bring you food, which you don't need. They bring you wine, which you drink, but you don't need. And with that, Adelina comes back and goes, the priestess Rekotep would see you. It seems that scouts seem to believe that this thing seem to be traveling here.
Here?
Yeah, and you look, the both of you look at each other, and you have the same amount. You both have the same look in your eye of this is horrible, but it believes that they believe it's heading here.
That was the greatest reaction of all time.
That's unsettling. I'd like to not be here when a worm got here, but where would you like me to go now?
And the priestess would like to see you now. And so, as you come out, you see there's a lot of panic as people are running around and everything. The priestess looks over at you and says, Master Xiv, did you tell anyone else this information?
No.
It just seems it's
About to get Shawshanked.
We just saw that scouts came in and saw on the horizon. We've heard from our master that this worm seems to be coming here at great speed. Never has the worm ever crossed our borders.
Do you think it knows that I know?
I don't know, but I suggest you leave this place. I would leave immediately. And with that, she goes, we are going to send our guards and Octopus forces to meet it outside the city to try to steer it away. There's there's a canyon just west of here that we are, or east of here. There's a canyon east of here we are going to set up and try to divert it away from the city. You're a large individual. Would you be willing to help our men?
I suppose. Just don't forget me when you gain favor.
Oh, I will never forget you, Xiv. And with that, she claps her hands, and the guys come over, and they in your fine robe and fine hat, you're getting marshaled in with several of the guard as a battalion of these guards are now all mounting up on horses, and they look over at you and they say, oh, they have to go get Betsy, the really big horse. They go get her out, for you. And with that, you and 40 others ride out to find. Now, this all happens very fast. You're kind of getting rushed up and everything. Durandal, you're outside the city. You see a bunch of rustling happening as all these horses are kind of like. You gotta think, if it's north of town. Let me kind of get the map back up. You're seeing all of this happen. On the outskirts of town. So, wrong map here. Hold up. Where is this map? Sorry. So Durandal, you're kind of like off on this side here. This is all happening on the north side. So you see like this battalion of horses going by. And in all of them, you see, as you watch all these horses riding off at a brisk pace, you see all of them are very uniformed, same armor, spears. In the middle of it is a very large individual wearing a very large robe. And you look and he goes, that looks like, what is Xiv doing? You see Xiv in the middle of this, all dressed up in a nice robe, a nice hat, basically riding out with these, 40 some odd soldiers as they're riding east outside of town.
All right. And take the sending stone. Tell the cat people to evacuate post haste because the great worm is coming.
Okay. And now, did you have that or did Xiv have that?
I think I had it, but
you handed it to Xiv. Okay.
No,
with that, you get Seba goes back. Goes, oh yes, we heard the rumblings. What's happening?
Say the great worm might be the kraken might be approaching, and to seek shelter quickly.
And with that, you just hear the clank of the stone as it something like he dropped it, and all you hear is the pattering of feet as it echoes into the distance. Yeah, as you just hear something like running off. With that, Baltazar looks and goes. He comes out of the caravan and goes, Durandal, what is happening?
Seems the plan has been put in motion far faster than we anticipated. I believe the kraken is on its way.
Oh. And he looks over and goes, Reba. And he looks over and he's kind of calling out the other. He goes, and he's kind of motioning to break camp. He goes, we will stay from a distance. If this plan happens, find us and we will travel out of here together.
All right.
And with that, he reaches out and he shakes your hand and he kind of calls the others. The wagons are kind of moving, kind of loosely behind the caravan is moving loosely behind the soldiers as all the soldiers are riding outside of town. And with that, Xiv, you are arriving first as Durandal. Now, Durandal, are you going to stay with the caravan or are you going to try to catch up?
Oh no, I'm going to try to catch up.
All right, well, with your horse, with the magic horseshoes, you can run much faster over the dunes than anybody else. I mean, even though they're taking paths, you can bolt. So you're going to be able to kind of catch up, and you're not with them, but you can see what's happening. So as you get closer, these 40 are coming up. In the far distance, you see several flying, the undead flying beasts that you saw in the distance, from your travel down south from the Bent Pyramid. You see them flying in. You also see the storm is encircling as you see this, like all this land and everything churning, getting kicked up in the far distance. But you also see the storm. And you kind of figure out it's the storm kicking up the earth, but you see something in the distance is kicking up, and it looks pretty rough. It looks pretty horrible as that's getting kicked up and moving in. What would you like to do?
I don't see the Kraken though, right?
You just, in the distance, you're riding, and what you see is like destruction of land, like land's getting kicked up, and you see the storm maybe right behind it. You can't tell if it's part of it or if it's behind it, but you see that storm is coming in behind it.
Okay. Are the undead monsters, are they coming in with the wind, or are they going to meet it like above the army?
Above.
Okay.
So you can see that there's about to be a pretty massive confrontation that's about to happen.
Right.
And Xiv is right in it.
Yeah. I'm going to just try to yell out to Xiv and be like, I'm with you. I'm going to stay back behind the 40. I'll bring up the rear.
So you kind of ride up, and now Xiv, you also see what's happening, and what's your take on this? Are you ready to charge into this, or do you want to fall back? What do you want to do?
I plan on getting lost in combat.
I'll follow suit.
Betsy's she's come up lame. It's just not quite as fast as you slow.
All they know is I'm just big, and I know about antiquities and stuff like that, and I'm really
an advisor.
So
you're an
maybe
advisor.
I'm just
That's funny. All right. So as you kind of start falling back as the military, and they seem to be fine with this. As the military pulls forward, and at this moment, what happens is there is this explosion as you two are kind of falling back a little bit. Durandal, you look over, and in the distance, you see the caravan is well behind you. And what you see in the front is you see this massive explosion of earth just getting kicked up as this massive worm comes up out of the ground. It's far bigger than what you thought it was, as we finally see the Kraken. As this giant worm just kind of comes up, and you see these teeth come out. The teeth are almost like churning in a circle around it, as you see the undead are starting to kind of drop in on it, and you don't even know what they're trying to do. This thing is so big that they don't even know what to do with this thing. And the 40 people that are riding up, they all stop and pull up and kind of start looking at each other like, this thing is massive. As you know, there's something that's about to happen, but the people running in front of you, they're like, you can tell there's like this whoa, like as all the horses are backing off.
They turn around and look at me like, maybe you've got the right idea.
They don't see you. You've dropped back. Like you're the back line at this point. So as
remorse, is that what's going on?
Right. Yeah. It's like, how much do we really want to do this? So I guess the question is, Durandal, as you see this massive thing happen, what is it that you would like to do?
I'm looking for Xiv, and I am taking Ziv's lead. I'm also looking for any signs of Drake.
Okay. You look about and give me a perception check as you kind of try to get the lay of the land. You look back, it's so much dust and rock, you don't see Drake anywhere. All you see right now is just rocks and debris, and you're also trying to dodge out of the way as things are just kind of getting kicked up as this giant thing is rearing its head. You see the giant worm rear its head back. It lands down on top. It takes out there's all these undead and ghouls and zombies and things kicking out of the ground. It's just mauling and eating all of them. As all of that is happening, you see this storm coming up and kicking forward. Now, at this point, there's wind that's kicking in, and the 40 people in front of you, they're all getting blown off their horses. Everyone's getting pushed back and away. As I know it's like a big cinematic, but I'm trying to set the scene of this. All this is getting kicked back, and the two of you are seeing all of this. Now, as that happens, I need both of you to make animal handling checks. Durandal has no problem on his steed.
17.
Both of you, as the 40 riders in front of you, some of them are getting kicked off and everyone's getting pushed off. The two of you are far enough back that you're able to kind of pull your steeds away as that wind hits you. Had you not been braced so hard, it would have blown you off of your steeds. But this wind that kicks in, you're able to kind of brace yourself from it. What is it that you want to do? You're still hundreds of feet away from the action.
Oh, I'm going to charge the exact opposite way.
Okay, so you're turning. You're turning away. Yeah. Are you going towards the caravan, or are you just trying to get more distance?
Go towards the caravan, yes.
Is there a precipice where you could see over this that seems like I mean, I see in the picture that there's something like that, but I want to something that's not immediate to the area, but higher.
So
where you can...
there, it looks like it's going to be in a canyon. What you're seeing is just the top of it. It's actually in the canyon. You're just seeing the top of the head pop up. So you could try to get closer, because you got to look at. There's basically like a canyon on either side. This thing is kind of carved in the middle of it, and you're just seeing its head pop up between the two walls of the canyon. So, in a way, you are seeing it from a higher point. However, you could get closer on the side of that and not be directly in contact with it, if that makes sense. The problem is, yeah.
I want to say, Durandal, let's move towards the middle. It's less bitey there.
Okay, so let me give you an actual battle map. See if you want to kind of see what this looks like.
Oh Lord!
So you got to zoom back.
It only takes up.
You got to really zoom back about 40% to kind of see. But this kind of gives you the idea of the scale of everything. And just so you kind of understand, if I were to put a player here, let's just say I was going to put Xiv here, that's how big you would be.
Oh, I'm going to sit back and Michael Jackson popcorn gif and see how Ankhtepot goes about getting the soul out of this thing.
Okay, so I'm going to remove Xiv. So Xiv, what do you want to do?
I want to stand next to Durandal and wait.
Okay, so the two of you are just waiting. At this point, the
keeping a lookout for Drake.
The undead forces come in. As undead forces come in, as the storm comes in, still not seeing Drake. As the storm comes in, you see the hand of Ankhtepot come down and start ripping and tearing at the worm itself. The 40 riders, Durandal, you notice off in the distance that the 40 riders kind of stop and all turn and almost seem to be marching towards the worm. You're not 100% sure if they're in control of themselves.
Right.
But they're basically forming a phalanx where they're kind of like locked in and they've got their spears in and they're marching towards the worm.
When you say you see the hand of Ankhtepot, like a hand?
Yeah,
it's the one that does the storm.
So basically what you're seeing is basically like a tornado, and you see a hand that's turning the tornado. And as the tornado gets up, you see this hand come down and start ripping, like this massive hand out of the tornado that's like ripping and clawing at the worm.
How, like, huge compared to the worm big?
About, yeah, comparable.
You know the big storms out in the desert?
Yeah, but there's an actual hand, too. Like, it's a physical
almost,
hand.
It looks like a spectral hand, like a... If that makes sense. Like, it's almost like the sand itself makes up the hand that's turning it.
Hand of sand.
Yeah. A hand of sand. There you go.
A foot of soot.
Right.
I don't know.
A foot of soot. I see what you did there.
They have a head of the undead.
All right, just keep going with it. All right, so you're kind of both sitting back watching this scene. Durandal, you look up, you see the caravan off the distance. You look over, you're just backing up. You still don't see anywhere. You don't see Drake. And Durandal, you start to wonder, did the worm eat Drake? Like, did he make it? Did he get away from the thing? As all of this is playing out, suddenly, as the storm dissipates, the worm is just chomping and chomping. The 40 phalanx members that jump up, they throw their spears. It opens its mouth and just eats all of them in one fell swoop. So the 40 that are marching forward are basically devoured by this thing. Is at that point that the storm kicks up, and you actually see the embodiment of Ankhtepot himself come out of the storm and land on the back of this thing. And you see like this yellow shiny light like drop, and in the distance you see Ankhtepot drop And you see this being, and as he does that, the storm kind of like calms a little bit, almost using like a protective barrier around him as the Lord of Dread himself, Ankhtepot, the Pharaoh, has landed. And this is what he looks like. Just zoom back in to see that. So Ankhtepot has landed. And as he does that, you see him almost disappear into the back of this thing. You've lost all sense of where you just saw him drop, and you don't know where he's at this point as you're watching all of this take
Was
place.
he large, medium, huge?
Same size. He was a human size. He looked like a human size.
Okay, so he's human-sized. That thing
Right.
just went inside it.
Yeah, it looked like he landed on the back, and you've kind of lost him at this point. So, with that,
Be ready.
the worm, there's a few moments that pass, and the worm is flailing back and forth and fighting, and then there's a moment where you see it just stop. The giant head of the worm kind of creaks out. It lets out this awful sound, and the whole worm falls into the ground, and everything shakes around. Again, as the ground shakes, as the giant worm falls to the ground, both of you make an animal handling check.
Lord. Don't fail me, Equinox.
I've been thrown.
You get thrown off your camel. Oh no, you're Betsy, your giant horse. You get thrown off. Durandal, you stay on your horse, but Xiv, you get thrown and that horse runs off. So at this point, what do the two of you want to do?
I'm taking out my sword and being ready.
Okay, at this point, the worm is flailing on the ground, and it whatever Ankhtepot did, he felled it quickly.
Wonderful. This is where we need Drake to know if he can instantly do the soul, or if he has to go to get a ritual, or we also need his book.
Durandal,
Yes.
let us fall to our knees and pray to this Pelor. If he can hear us, perhaps he can speak to Drake.
Definitely worth a shot.
I mean, I don't know how this works, but maybe together two knuckleheads can get a message through.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll try it.
We will drop to our knees.
Okay.
Prayer hands together.
Yeah.
All right. So give me a religion check. You gonna use your knowledge of the past on this?
Yeah.
If the two of you are doing it together, I'll let you roll with advantage.
Okay. And we'll take mine and
Basically, I'm helping you.
Yes, Randall is giving you the help action.
Yeah.
so 11 or
A natural 20.
Ooh, hotline to heaven.
Xiv, who maybe is technically a paladin now. I don't know. Maybe he just multi-classed. Rolls a natural 20 in his prayer for Pelor to reach out. And as that happens, you hear this voice very softly in your ear. You hear a voice that says, "I hear you." And you look about like, what was that? And the clouds break, light emanates from the clouds itself, and you see a small individual riding what looks to be a Pegasus flying out of the clouds. As you see this Pegasus flying in, wielding a mighty sword that you used to carry, Drake has returned on his Pegasus.
I'm going to clasp Durandal by the shoulder and say, "He heard us, look!"
Okay, and you see Drake flying in on his Pegasus, wielding his blade as he descends on the corpse of the worm. What would the two of you like to do?
I'm going to look at Durandal and say, "I believe the time is now, friend."
I believe I concur. I've
And-
never Never been so happy to see the sun.
So with that, the two of you are moving in or staying back? What are you doing?
I'm charging this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the two of you charge, Xiv on foot, Durandal on horse, as the two of you get closer. As you're charging in, you see several. It's the worm decimated a lot of the forces, but you still see remnants of the undead. You don't see any of the living; they're all gone. You see some things flying about. As you two are running in, you're kind of going across the battlefield. We'll put you.
And this thing is laying down at this point.
Yeah, it's laying down, but I don't have a laying down token. So
yeah, but what I'm hoping is that there's some point where the canyon can get close enough to the back of the worm that we don't have to like climb it.
Right. Hang on, let me.
We could hop down.
All right, so we're gonna put Durandal in front. Xiv, you're kind of leaning back. So the two of you come up. So we're on the map now. We'll have to zoom back a little bit now. As you two are running up, Durandal, you're riding. You look over. You see several ghouls see you and start like tearing towards you. Let me pull them up. I had them.
So since I'm on foot, and Danny,
Correct.
you're on horseback, I'm going to shout ahead. Keep riding. I'll handle this.
Ooh, I love it.
I've got
So
a sword to test out.
You've got 3 here, and then you've got another 2 on this side. So there's 5. So Durandal, you're riding forward. Xiv, you see 3 to your right. You see 2 to your left. And they all seem to kind of be moving towards you. With that, you still tell Durandal to move forward?
Yes.
Okay. And let's go into... we're just going to do a... let's give some turns here. Add turn. Add turn. We're going to do a generic turn here. All right, we're going to keep it here for now. So everyone give me some initiative. If everyone's watching, let's pull for them because we've got a climactic finish that's about to happen here. Let's see.
19.
19. Nice. Durandal, a 16. I love how it shows 16.6 is it goes and shows me what your tiebreaker would be with your decks. Gotcha. Alright. Well, that works out. Alright, so Xiv, you're going to go first on a 19, Durandal 16, and then the minions of Ankhtepot will go at 8. Ankhtepot himself, let's go ahead and pull him up here. I have this mummy. I'm just going to put him here for now as a placeholder. And he is going to be going at a mighty 7.
Dead last.
Alright.
Actually,
That's
what's Drake going at?
We'll put Drake here.
Please tell me he's going. Oh, thank God.
What is Drake going at? A 7.
Ooh.
They're tied.
They're tied. It's actually a dead tie, so we'll have Drake go first because he's a hero. All right. And if it's a straight tie, the good guys win. All right. So here's where we are. All right. So we have Drake flying in on his Pegasus. We have Ankhtepot emerging from the corpse of the worm. Xiv sees the minions of Ankhtepot about him, and Durandal's charging forward. So Xiv, you are first. What would you like to do?
First, I'm going to take out Corpse Maker.
Okay. As you pull out the blade, it immediately shines this very vibrant yellow as it pulls out. It also gives a hum off, which you haven't had it happen before. It seems to be with the presence of undead, it seems to activate.
I like this. I get a little smile. I'm going towards 3.
You charge to 3. Okay.
I'm going to rage.
You're going to
And
rage.
we're going to see what happens.
All right. Let's see how the wild magic barbarian rages. As he enters his rage, he's going to roll on the chart to see what happens. A 1.
Shh. Electrical tendrils.
Hang on, pause for a second. Roll it again and pick. Roll it again. 1 or 8. You've done this enough. Maybe you can control the chaos magic to get an option. He has 2 options. Which one will he take?
I'm assuming I flavor this towards...
You flavor it how you like.
Okay. So, electrical damage.
Okay.
Electrical tendrils lash around you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 electrical damage. You also gain 1d12 temporary hit points.
Ooh! All right, so this electrical field. So as you go, you with the sword, the electricity just bursts inside of you. I like to think maybe it starts at the bolts of your neck, like you get the real Frankenstein feel. Just kind of sparks out. Electricity goes out. All 3
and a
of them.
loud howl.
And a loud howl of electrical pop as it kind of starts sparkling out of you. Sparkles. You're in sparkle
My hair is
mode.
kind of standing up.
You're in sparkle mode. The three guys will have to make a Constitution saving throw. We'll do those individually.
8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your Constitution modifier. My proficiency bonus, that's just my plus to attack, right?
It's 3 at this point. Plus
my Constitution modifier, which is 3. So it's 8 plus 6.
Yeah, 8 plus 6, so 14. All right, so one of them failed it. I rolled a 15, a 12, and a 19, so one of them failed it. We'll say this guy in the back here failed it. How much damage does he take?
1d12.
Okay.
And I gain 1d12 hit points.
All right, so roll your d12 hit points. All right,
Nice.
so he takes 7, you gain 8. That's just off the rage. That's the bonus action. Now you can swing your blade.
All right, so the closest one I am swinging the Corpse Maker at.
Okay. Are you recklessly attacking to get advantage?
They're going to have advantage against me anyway because there's multiples of them, so there's no reason not to.
Not to. All right, so roll with advantage. As you just wildly swing Corpse Maker at the corpses.
I'll take the 15.
Yeah, because the 1 was first, so good thing you did that. So the 15 plus 10 you've got now, 25. That hits. And with that, now roll your damage. Now the Greatsword's going to do 2d6 damage plus another d8 because you're fighting undead.
Well, it's 2d6 plus 7 plus a d8.
Yes, 2d6 plus 7 plus d8. A bit of damage.
So 10, 17, and
25. Oh, no,
So-
not 25. 18?
18.
All right, so you cut the first one in twain. So he's down. You still have another attack. You can move up to the next one for your second attack.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Also recklessly attacking.
All right.
14.
14's gonna hit. I'm gonna move you up though. Uh, 11 plus 18 plus a d8.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Yeah, all right. So you run up with your blade and you down 2 of these things and just reckless swings, just flailing madly. Each time this thing connects, it has this sounds almost like a lightsaber cutting through flesh as you cut through each one of them. This weapon is perfectly balanced and you seem to be just
As all things should be.
as all things should be. And you are masterful with the blade as you cut through 2 of them. As that happens, we move to Durandal. What are you doing?
All right, so he's inside the
You
worm, correct?
you see him on top of the corpse. He's crawling out of the corpse.
Okay. I'm going to go to the edge of this cliff,
Okay.
riding, and
Now remember, your horse can't fly, but it can.
Right.
It can kind of run up things because he doesn't have to touch the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna, as I'm riding to the edge here, I'm going to just whisper in his ear.
The horse?
Head back to the caravan.
The horse?
And I don't know if he'll understand that. And I'm gonna leap off.
I'm gonna say he does because you're a ranger, and that's what rangers do.
Okay. I could do speak with animals, but
Nah, don't blow it. I'm just gonna say this has been your family horse. You're a ranger. I'm gonna give it to you. So you tell the horse that it somehow understands. I mean, heck, my dog knows when I tell it to go outside what I'm talking about. So I'm guessing your horse can do that. So
I'm gonna use its speed to propel me into the air and to land on the worm.
Okay.
I don't know what's that? Acrobatics?
Acrobatics check. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
17. You landed.
Okay.
That'll get you on the worm. Now, as you're flying in the air, are you wanting to attack it this turn? Because this is just, you've only done a move action at this point.
Right. I'm going to.
Remember that arrow, Danny.
Exactly. I'm going to wait. Actually, I will take just a regular arrow and try to hit him.
Okay.
Because I can't. I want to use that when I can a little better.
You will have advantage on this attack if you're in the air. Because you will have the high ground.
That worked for Obi-Wan. All right.
Might as well go for the big gun.
I'm going to land on the worm and go, hello there. Right.
Go for the undead arrow, man, if you're going to have advantage.
That's what I'm doing. I'm definitely doing that. All right.
All right, so you ride on the horse. You use it to vault yourself in the air. As you're flying through the air, you pull out your bow. You pull out the arrow of undead slaying. You've lined up a shot. You get an advantage with the attack. Is there now? Do you have a bonus action? Is there anything bonus action you want to do before you let loose the arrow?
I do. Ooh. Well.
Is he your favorite foe?
Yes. Absolutely.
Favoritist.
He's my favoritist foe. Of all my favorite foes, he's my favoritist.
All right. I'm going to cast, maybe.
Bonus action cast?
Yeah, there is a bonus action. Cast.
You don't have to. Favorite foe's not bonus action, is it? Or is it?
Well, it is concentration, isn't it?
It is. Come on, what you gonna do? We're in the moment.
I'm just gonna take
flying
the shot.
through the air. Just take the
I
shot.
already have advantage.
Take the shot.
I already have advantage.
All right. So you've got advantage. Take the shot. He's rolling with advantage. Arrow of undead slaying.
All right.
What's it gonna be?
God.
Drum roll.
Please hit this. Please, for the love of God.
If ever. Wait. All right. We have a 12 plus 8. And
Plus
that will hit. That will hit.
1. Yeah,
That will
arrow,
hit.
I guess.
So the arrow,
hit.
it does hit. We have a hit. What does an arrow of undead slaying do? Let's see.
It probably slays the undead.
I'm trying to make sure I have the correct.
I have no clue. It'd be nice, though.
If a creature belonging to the type racer group is associated with the arrow of slaying takes damage from the arrow, the creature must make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw, taking 6d10 extra piercing damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
So 6d10 or 3d10?
Correct. He's got to make a Constitution saving throw. Let's see what he makes. I get a +3. That's a 16. I'm 1 short. I will take 6d10.
Ooh, I can't wait to roll these up.
All right, so you're gonna do
Goes up to 5.
You're gonna do a d8 for the arrow. You're gonna do 6d10 for the arrow of slaying.
All right, let me do 3d10. I have no idea what I rolled.
13. The arrow of undead slaying. Plus 16. That's a 29. plus
So
now
that's
roll a
68.
d8 for the arrow. Holy cow. Alright, so we're up to 37 damage. Now, what's your static bonus? You get like a plus something just using an arrow, right?
Yeah, it's a D8 plus 3.
Alright, so 30, so that's 40 damage.
All right.
Is he
Let's
your
send
favorite?
the bats out.
Oh, and you're going to say it's a bonus action, send the bats out. Okay. Is he your favorite foe?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so give me your favorite foe damage and your boat and your bat damage.
A D4 and a D6.
D4 and a D6. So we're at 40, 42, 43 total damage to Ankhtepot with the shot.
I think you got his attention.
All right. So you let loose that first arrow. As you're falling, you do get a second shot with a normal arrow. Or you still have magic arrows.
Yeah, I do have the what were they?
I
+1.
just want to state that Sunshine is the one who randomly rolled up the arrow of Undead Slay. So,
Sunshine's 43
makes up
points
for
of
the
damage.
curse.
so Sunshine, that is your 43 points of damage. So thank you to Sunshine in Discord for giving us that. All right, now you're still attacking with advantage. So roll
Okay, I
another
didn't know if
d20.
it was
Yeah,
or not.
yeah. If one is, they all are.
Uh,
The 10 won't hit, but that
Okay.
17 will hit. So give me another D8 plus 3 damage. Oh, you already did. It's there. 11. All right,
11.
so you did 54 points of damage as you land on the worm with 2 arrows, both magical arrows sticking out of him. When that first arrow hit him, there was like a thud as it went all the way through his shoulder. His arm drops and starts dangling off to the side, his right arm. The second arrow goes and hits his left shoulder as you stand, so you kind of get a pin cushion of this thing as he's like looking back as his arm is now hanging off to the side. He lets out this gutter like ah, is almost in shock, because as you land you have this realization, when's the last time he felt pain? And with that,
yeah.
we go to Ankhtepot's turn.
Oh
Or
God.
Drake.
Oh,
Drake
goes.
Actually, we got to go to those ghouls on me.
Oh, that's right, the ghouls. Ghoul 1.
Junior varsity squad down on the ground.
10, 15, 20. Alright, so these two are going to spend their entire turn running up to you. This one's going to get his attack with advantage. The junior varsity. It's a natural 20, folks. It's a natural 20. Take 20 points of damage. That's going to be 10. So take because it's halved because you're raging.
I take 2 because I had 8 temporary hit points.
Merely a flesh wound, but you did take damage. So give me a Constitution saving throw. Constitution saving throw.
15.
Well, you made that. I cannot get anyone in this campaign to fail a Constitution saving throw against a ghoul. It just won't happen. All right, so he barely cuts into your back. No big deal. With that, we now go to Drake, who's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He can get all the way there. As he comes in, he also, taking a cue from Durandal, leaps off of the sword, off of his Pegasus, drawing his blade, and he comes down. And as he comes down, you hear him yell out, "Palor, smite my enemy!" as he comes down with his blade to attack, also with advantage because he has the high ground. Ooh, an 8. Ankhtepot sidesteps the attack and he slams his sword into the worm. He stands up and tries to backhand the blade to try to get him a second time. That one will connect. He'll hit with a blade. He will also use a smite. So the blade itself is going to do this. That's just the blade. That's 12 plus plus 12 is 16. And then he's going to roll a smite. So 16. Oh, that's the wrong dice. I apologize. I know how smite works. I've smited a few times. So 16 plus 17 is going to be 33 points of damage as he cuts into him. He's now taken 87 points of damage. as the light, as soon as that hits, there's a light that kind of emanates. It's almost blinding as that smite goes off. But just for the note, for the record, Durandal hit him harder than Drake. Just for the record, that Durandal did hit him harder.
Let the record show.
Let the record show. All right.
Let me get up there.
All right. With that,
smitten twice shy. I hope. Oh no. Trevor's doing some sort of tallying. That's not kosher.
It's great. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to open his eyes and give a glare to Drake, who must make a wisdom saving throw. Wow. He failed. Drake failed his save. So Drake is now frightened of the only thing that ever bested him was this thing, and now Drake is afraid of it. As he does that, he also turns and looks, and he begins to reach out with his one good hand, his left hand. As he reaches out, and all of this necrotic black energy shoots out at Durandal. And Durandal, make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, let me see. Where is it? 11.
That's a hard fail. All right. As the sixth level harm spell attacks you, you're going to take 14d6 necrotic damage.
Oh, I'm dead.
Just hold up. So 14d6. Here we go. 17. 21. That's 38. And I still have 4 more. That's going to be 48, 55 points of necrotic damage. How much health do you have?
Yeah, I'm down.
What? But wait, let me read harm. The damage, okay, on a failed save, it takes 14d6 necrotic damage. The damage can't reduce the target's hit points below 1. If the target fails the saving throw, its hit point maximum is reduced for 1 hour by an amount equal to the necrotic damage it took.
Your health is just 1?
Yes. So you're not dead, but you're at 1.
Yeah, I think
Holy crap.
a retreat might be in order.
There's more. All right. And with that, it's Xiv's turn. Oh, wait, hang on. I have a legendary action. Oh, what to do? He's gonna turn around and punch and use his rotting he hits that out, and then he's gonna turn around and moving extremely fast. He's gonna go around and try to hit Drake. He's gonna hit. He's gonna hit for 9d6.
Oh my god!
Good lord!
So Drake takes 39 points of damage and needs to make a Constitution saving throw, which he passes. So how much did he take total?
39.
39. All right, so he as he does that, he cracks the gold armor that Drake is wearing, and one of the plates falls off as he just like slams into him. Drake, terrified of what's happening here, kind of steps back, and now it is Xiv's turn.
Am I seeing any of this happen?
I think right now you're really focused on what's happening here in front of you.
Okay. I'm going to kill some more zombies, ghouls, whatever they are.
Do it. recklessly. The
Okay.
17 will hit. So 2d6. What do we got?
8 plus 7 is 15 plus a d8. 20.
That'll kill it.
Next.
Next. 14 will hit because you get a plus 10. That's a 24 to hit.
It's dead too.
It's dead too. Don't you have your bonus action? Isn't your thing still going off? The tendrils?
I don't know that one's. Let me look.
Are we having fun, chat? Because I'm having fun. I like rolling all the dice. It's more fun to roll all the dice in person where you just like pick up the big like grenade of dice.
No,
and
this
throw
is
it
a
across
one-time thing.
It's a one-time thing. Yeah. All right. Excuse me while I cast my fireball and just like pull out the giant like glob of dice and just chuck it across the table. Big
I do have
damage
a
is
move
awesome.
action, right?
Yes, you do.
Can I run and jump and get up on this thing?
Yeah, you'll get an attack of opportunity, but you could definitely run. You'll
Is
get
it
30
able
feet.
for me to get to it?
30 feet, you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can get to here.
I might as well just stay and kill this thing then.
You could go ahead and shift to here to get you closer.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and.
And you're not taking an attack of opportunity or anything. You're just shifting around. So you take your blade, you cut these two in twain, and you kind of you see what's happening is you're kind of moving over in that direction. And with that, we go to Durandal, who is permanently at 1 hit point.
Ranged, my friend, range.
Feeling good. All right. All right. About how far away am I from him?
It's a little hard to tell. We'll say it's 25 feet. I'm
Okay,
guessing.
Okay. All right.
What
so
I
here's
I'll tell you what
I'm
I can do. I can make the worm part of the map. There we go. Now we've got a grid.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just kind of pretending this is what the worm looks like on the ground, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, take 2 pot shots at him.
Okay.
And these will be my last 2 magical arrows.
You've held on to these from the very first game. And I think Ghost rolled those up at the very first game, if I recall. I think it was. I think he's been savoring these magic arrows for this moment. The last 2 magic arrows.
Oh god. All right, here's the first one.
You do get advantage.
Oh, okay.
You are rolling with advantage. So the 19 is way better than the 9. That's going to hit for 10 points of damage.
And let me just go ahead and roll the next one.
Okay.
Why is it there? We go.
Roll with advantage.
I did.
It's 14 and 10.
Oh, okay. 14 is total. That
I guess it would be a 15 with the +1.
It misses.
Okay.
So you missed with the second one.
All right. So.
And for the sake of argument, I'm going to say that arrow landed right here.
Oh god. Okay. Okay, so the first one, let's do the damage. It does an extra D6.
Favorite foe, right?
Bats, you're killing me. Favorite foe, you're killing me. Okay.
How much did you do?
Total, it was 12?
12 total.
Is it 12?
Okay.
12.
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
So then I'm going to hide with my sticky leg ability
Okay.
behind this.
You're
just
going to get
hanging on.
cover?
Yes! I have 1 HP.
You're like, shoot. And you just hide
Actually,
under the...
you know what? Hold on. I can move 35 feet. All right, I was right here, so let's go. I definitely don't want this guy to see me. All right, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm going to run down this way.
All right, so you're running up down the side of the worm in case you got to go pick up that arrow.
Yes.
Oh, how many times we play D&D where Danny has to go and retrieve a weapon? It's just like
Way too many. Way too many.
It's just like an ongoing
Like peaches
thing.
and cream.
I gotta get that arrow back. All right.
I got one arrow. You gotta wait.
All right. With that, the ghoul will attack Xiv with advantage. It's gonna hit, but it's half damage, so it's
Okay.
8 points of damage, half, so you take 4. But make a Constitution save. God, you make everyone. You make everyone. Good Lord.
I'm a golem for crying out loud.
You're not getting me with that crap. All right. With that, it is now Drake's turn. Drake is going to attack it, but with disadvantage because he is. Actually, pause. Screw this roll. Forget this roll. I know what Drake's gonna do. Hang on. Hang on. Drake has some actions. He's got toys.
Does he have remove fear?
Drake is going to clasp.
Invoke divinity.
He's going to clasp the amulet and rip it
Summon
off and
the
drop it on
Lord.
the ground and turn
Yes!
into a minotaur.
I was gonna have you go for that, Danny, but I couldn't get up there.
He was going to turn. He takes off the amulet. He throws it to the ground. He turns into this giant minotaur, and he is going to swing recklessly at this guy because he can. So it will cancel out the advantage. So he has advantage, but he's afraid it's a disadvantage, so it cancels out. So he gets an attack. He misses with the first attack, but he's going to hit with that second attack. And that second attack is going to do, let's see, 3d8 for the weapon. And he's going to smite again. So it's 11 plus 4 is 15. And then he'll smite again. So 15 plus 21
Dang.
is going to be 36 points of damage. That brings us up to a total of 135 damage. And with that, he is done. He's basically trying... Oh, wait. He can try to get out of the fear. Let's see if he gets out of it. He does. The Minotaur, the red in his eyes just kind of like gleaming as he's angry, as he's swinging this blade at this giant Minotaur. Still clasping the golden armor, but this giant horns are coming out as he's attacking. And now we go to Ankhtepot. Oh, because I moved him, so I need to add his turn back. That's where he went.
He's like, eat more chicken, bitch.
It's Big Stinky's turn.
It is Big Stinky's turn. All right, the first thing he's going to do is try to punch the giant Minotaur in front of him.
That's what we used to call him, Ghost. The holy cow.
The holy cow is back. He goes to punch him, and the Minotaur kind of shifts out of the way, not wanting to get hit with that thing again. He will now take his legendary action. He is going to his entire body turns into sand. As he turns into sand, the arrows that are in him drop to the ground, and he moves 60 feet.
Danny, the arrows that are in him drop to the ground.
Oh, are you serious?
And he's here. Yeah.
He's where? Where did he go?
Here. So
Oh.
basically he spins. Because of that, Drake goes to attack him as he moves, but he's just cutting through sand, and he reappears 60 feet away on another rock. And now it is the top of the round. Xiv, it is your turn. Yes, Sirloin has attacked.
The divine bovine. There we go.
So
The divine
here's the
bovine.
thing. I can't attack, move, and attack.
I'm going to say you can.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to try to kill this thing in front of me.
Okay.
Don't want to recklessly swing. Everything hits me anyway.
Okay. Do it. 18's gonna hit.
No guts, no glory.
And then your D8. So that's 11. That's okay. That's enough.
Okay.
All right. So one swing, you drop it, and now movement.
I'm gonna turn around and go, "Hello there." And I'm gonna Naruto run over to him and take the biggest, recklessest swing ever.
Okay. Roll with advantage with your blade. Ooh, that's gonna hit.
Do 2d6 plus 7 plus a d8. So 13, 18.
18. All right, so we're up to 153 damage done to him. All right, so you go and you attack him. The arm that was hanging off, you attack, you sever the arm. It drops to the ground. As soon as that arm hits the ground, it immediately turns into sand as he kind of reels back with one arm now. And that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
I don't bonus action. What am I gonna do?
I just swing this sword and cut off things. All right, Durandal, it's your turn.
So he's over there with Xiv now, right?
I cast Chop.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action
Okay.
cast Zephyr Strike.
Ooh, okay.
And basically, I'm going to Alucard this. I turn into a wolf so I can run faster. How about that?
Okay.
Just for flavor.
All right.
I'm going to go pick up the arrows.
Okay.
And all right, let me do the movement here. The arrows are right there about where Drake is, right?
Yeah, they're right here.
10, 15, 20,
Easily get
25,
there.
30. All right, I'm going to pick up the arrows.
Okay. Now, the arrow of slaying is just a magic arrow at this point.
Okay.
Once it's been
And-
used, it just turns into a magic arrow.
I'm going to go 5, 10.
While Danny's
And-
figuring out his turn, did Drake have an oath? Did
No,
Paladins have
that
oaths?
was
Then
oath.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, Paladin had
No,
oath
not
back
back
then.
then.
They were just holy rollers.
That's it.
Yeah. I had to tithe and stuff, I remember.
Clerics with a horse.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 shots,
Okay.
and I'm going to hide behind whatever these horrible masses are
Okay.
on this thing.
Okay.
So,
Take your shot.
You have advantage too.
You do have advantage.
yeah, you get advantage with
All right, that's
Zephyr
going to hit. So
Strike,
that's
too.
5 damage. And then, ooh, that'll hit too. So you rolled a 26 total, which is going to be 18 plus 8, and then you also rolled a 13 plus 8. So both of those will hit. So 15 total damage, bringing him up to 168 damage taken.
Let me do me bat.
And then the spectral bats explode, hitting him for another 4 points of damage, bringing
And
him up to
favorite foe.
and then favored foe
Right,
as well.
Zephyr Strike also does a D8 force damage.
Okay.
You
I know
get
if
a
you do
D8
that, if
and
you
a-
do that, you can't favored foe because it's concentration.
Right, no, it already dropped when I did Zephyr Strike.
Got it. Okay, so now do your Zephyr Strike attack. It's another D8.
D8.
All the damage. Holy moly. Alright, the arrows have returned to where they were. Where they need to be. Pin cushioned back into Ankhtepot. And with that, we don't have to worry about these. Alright, there's going to be a bull rush. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. Alright, he's going to just run as hard as he can and just try to, like, gore him with his horns. He will get advantage on the attack. He is going to hit. And I realize that smite only works when you're using a weapon. However, this is my game. In my game, Minotaurs can smite off their horns. So I'm going to say the horns, this is what the horn does. And then we're going to 4d6 smite off the horn, because the idea of a smite horn attack I find entertaining. All right, so that's going to be 17 plus another 4. It's going to be 21 points of damage, as he is now taking 194 damage.
Where is Drake? I don't even see him on the map anymore.
He's right here.
He's right next to you now.
He's not loading on mine for some reason. That's weird.
He's a Minotaur. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit. Zoom in on the action. Zoom in on the action. All right. All right. Now it is Ankhtepot's turn. Ankhtepot is going to punch the Xiv, who is causing problems. $23 to hit.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to be 3d6 bludgeoning, which so you'll take half of this. So you're going to take 15 half, so take 7 points of bludgeoning. And then 6d6 necrotic damage. This you take full. Look at all the ones. Look at all the ones. So take 13 points of necrotic damage. I rolled 3 1s and a 2.
It's because I'm Xiv.
You're Xiv, right. Make a Constitution saving throw.
It's only a 10.
I did it! I finally got into fail one. You now have mummy rot. You are cursed. You can't regain hit points. And your hit point maximum has been decreased by 3d6. So just for in case...
Wait. Doesn't he have an amulet on that makes him not cursed?
That was the one I put on Drake.
Alright, so your hit point, your maximum hit point has dropped by 10. You now have mummy rot.
So my max is 45, not 55.
Correct. Alright. So he hits you with that. He's then going to use his legendary action and spin around, and basically where you cut the arm off, there's this sand just starts blowing out of it. He just turns and now sand just explodes all around everybody. You two need to make a Constitution saving throw or be blinded. And this roll here is for Drake, who is blinded.
What is this, Constitution?
Yeah.
12?
You're both blinded by the sand.
Okay.
And now it is Ziv's turn.
Well, blind is disadvantage, right?
Yes.
But reckless attack is advantage, right?
And you're also next to him, so basically you can just roll straight up.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a natural 20. We have a natural 20 on
the barbarian with a sword that hurts dead things.
Right, so it's 4d6 plus 2d8.
Plus 7.
Plus 7. Because that plus 7 might be the one. Alright, so 15 and 2d8. 18. So 25 damage.
On my first attack.
On your first attack. Your second attack.
Also hits.
Also hits. Roll your damage. 2d6 plus d8.
5, 13, or no, 12, 16.
Ziv, I have a question. What does it look like?
So the first one goes through his torso and causes him to lean over. And as he leans over, I spin around with the second one, and the head will roll.
Cleave the head of Ankhtepot as he turns into dust right before your eyes, shattering onto the ground. The good thing is, because he recovered his soul, he felt that. So as he drops down to the ground, there's a rumbling around. In the distance, Durandal, from your vantage point, you look up in the distance, the storm ceases immediately. The clouds begin to open as light peers through the sun, and the land is bright again as the rule of Ankhtepot has come to an abrupt end. As that you hear this howl as Drake the Minotaur roars out, standing over him, slapping the back of Xiv's, and "Good show, man, good show," as this bellowing Minotaur voice echoes over you. And as that Durandal, from your vantage point, you look around, you see that the all the bodies that are strewn out in the cavern, they begin to stand back up. And you look about, and the undead are no longer undead. They have returned to the land of the living. As all of the undead are now now that the rule of Ankhtepot is over, they have been returned to life. You see skin growing back onto them as the magic abates, and all that was dead is now alive again. And as you look about, you see all these other people coming in, and the ghouls are a different thing, but the people that had died, they're alive again.
Does my 1 hit point thing go away? Or
no.
Oh gosh, okay.
Climb down carefully.
Climb down very carefully.
And then I'm gonna get Drake to do some sort of remove disease or something.
Yeah, can he remove a curse?
It lasts.
This is kind of sudden.
All right, so here's the thing: the harm thing, it lasts for an hour. So within an hour, you'll be able to heal up again, right? Okay.
All right, I'm sifting around in this sand for a book.
Okay, so as everyone is cheering, you look around and you do find that there is a golden book in the sand as you pick it up. But you see that, and you also see a ring. No one seems to pay any attention to the fact is everyone's looking about, and you see all these people that are coming in, and the undead that are living are looking about, and they're cheering, and they're kind of like hugging each other as the tyranny of Ankhtepot has come to a close. And also this whole domain seems to be shifting as the sun comes out, as clouds roll in, there's rolling thunder in the distance as rain starts pouring in and returning life back into the barren wasteland. Drake the paladin, the big Minotaur, looks about and is cheering and looking about, and you see several of these humans are coming up or are looking up and cheering for him as he goes down to talk to his subjects. So at this point, Drake has moved down to kind of see all of the people that have been returned. As that happens, Durandal, you take this moment, and Xiv, you see him pick up some things and sift through the body and pick up a book and a ring. Xiv, what would you like to do?
Is this how you return to your realm, Durandal?
I believe the book has something to do with it. Ring, I've no clue. What do you say? Want the ring?
I'll take the ring.
You know more about magical items than I.
But I do know that your friend is not to be trusted. That is all I'll say.
Oh, yes, I concur.
Be
I
ready.
concur.
So as you two are having this conversation, Durandal, you look in the distance, you see the caravan kind of moving closer in. And you see several of the ladies that are driving the caravan kind of wave at you, and they're also celebrating this grand occasion. Xiv, you look about and you see all of these people kind of be descending on this place within moments. All of these undead, you see people walking about in tattered clothes and things as they've been returned to the land of the living. You see. And your eyes are just kind of filled that everything that was dead here is coming back to life. And in the distance, you hear a familiar voice as moments have passed. You look and you hear a familiar voice as you look, and you see that the ghost, Nalissa, has been returned to life. She is full-bodied, not an apparition, but has actually been returned to life. As you're now reunited with your lost love, and somehow miraculously not just her spirit, but she actually has a full corporeal, like, human form.
I will walk over to her and open up the music box and hand it to her.
And we'll play the music box. You open up the music box as you two, you have this embrace as you've kept this music this whole time. This love story has finally come through countless years and decades that have rolled by. You somehow miraculously here in this desolate wasteland, you actually found each other in life again in some strange way. As that happens, Durandal, you see them in the distance having this moment. You disappear off into as you go and you meet Baltazar, and in the distance, not so close, you hear Drake kind of somewhat close behind you, but talking to all of the people that are kind of gathering in this celebratory moment. And you kind of look over and you see him there, but Baltazar is summoning you. He says, "Go quickly, it is time for us to return." What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna call out, "Why so hasty?"
I don't want that knight over there to see us. We must leave. And you did kind of take something from...
Do I see Danny?
You're so focused on seeing Alyssa. You're focused 100% on her. You just see Durandal in the distance.
Well, at least let me say goodbye to Xiv.
Sure, but you must hurry.
And I need my horse. Yes.
Of course.
Whistle for the horse.
He has the horse, so you get up on your horse,
Okay.
and you ride over to say goodbye to Xiv.
All right. I'll hop down. I bow a little, do a little curtsy. I learned from Xiv to Nylissa.
Who's still wearing his royal robe and like an Egyptian hat.
My lady, is finally good to meet you. Xiv does nothing but pine for you.
And this very
He did have a
beautiful
fling
woman
with my
kind
horse.
of bows and goes, "Oh," and she says, "Thank you, Durandal. I know you as I've been following you as well."
I will say he did have a little fling with my horse there for about a week.
And then she laughs. She says, "I know that's not true."
Oh, they were nigh inseparable. Nigh.
Nah.
I want to reach over and clasp Durandal by the shoulders and say, "I don't have many friends, but you're a good one. But you should do what you feel you should do."
Are you staying in this land, Xiv, now that it's been cleansed?
I don't know. We'll see. I never know what's around the corner. But don't feel like you have to stay for me.
I'm going to figure out the travel between the mists. And once I do, I'll be back.
I'll be here.
I'll take out the ring. Be like, got this off of Ankhtepot.
I'll look at it
Absolutely.
with the magic eyes.
It's quite magical.
I'll take this for safekeeping. No telling what might get into Baltazar's hands.
Yes. I feel I have no recourse but to trust him right now.
I just wish our friends could have been here.
Agreed. Perhaps I'll come across them as well.
They could be returned to life.
True. Find that sending stone. I don't know if it'll work across realms, but find it. Perhaps we can speak.
I will. I'm sure the cat people will be very happy.
It actually does work.
Oh, it does?
It does, yeah.
Oh, yes. I'll text you good night every night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to look over to the horse and say, "Take care of him. Give it a pet."
The horse was reluctant to leave you.
All right. I'm going to, as I'm walking by Drake, I'll just say, Drake, it's about time for me to leave.
And he looks and goes, "Oh, thank you for your help. I I will see that this grand land of Talatus is returned to its former glory.
Ooh, Lattice. There we go. Okay. All right, well, it's an honor to fight by your side. I hope to be back one day.
And you are welcome here as an honored guest.
All right. I'm going to insight check. He's acting weird.
The cow
Balthazar.
or Balthazar?
Balthazar. Well, yeah, the cow too, but Balthazar.
You roll a 20. 13 plus 7 is 20. He seems very truthful. Nothing. He seems to be very much on task of getting this back to the Lord.
Okay. All right. I'll go with him. I'll see this as long as you can take me to your lord, Brunwald.
As you say that, Balthazar says, "Oh yes, of course." And the three ladies begin this incantation. As soon as you say Brunwald, you hear Drake behind you go, "Brunwald! Taraptus is here?" And as he says that, the mist around you change as the three of you teleport, or no, the four of you teleport away. Xiv, you see this as you turn, that Drake looks, he goes, "My sworn enemy! Where is he?" As he heard the name Taraptus Brunwald.
Ooh.
And that is how this story will end, as the story, the light shakes from the hand of Marcus as we are returned to the tavern, as we have come to a close of this session of Masters of Dread. It is not forever done, as there's still more story to tell, as Durandal has been returned to his father, who is the Lord Taraptus Brunwald, a name that we did not hear till the very end. And to those of you watching, don't really know who that is, but in a campaign many decades ago, he was the big villain who is the father of Durandal. And that has been the
Drake.
game. Yeah, yes.
It was the villain of Drake's.
Yeah,
campaign.
Drake's villain that he fought was Taraptus. And Wes and Danny played in that campaign for 20 years, and this whole time they've been playing the son of Taraptus, who's been trying to reunite with the father. And as we get to that point, Durandal and Xiv's story comes to a close for now. As Marcus's orb begins to turn, the light comes back on, and we're back, returned now to Waterdeep. And as we do that, we look about the tavern, and Marcus, it is finished. Thank you all so much for staying here these many weeks and hearing this tale. I hope it finds you well, and if you ever find yourself surrounded by the mist, know there is one less domain that you could be taken to, as now Harakir has been healed somewhat, and we'll find out, maybe again, what has happened to Xiv and Durandal as their adventures surely continue. Thank you so much, and be sure to tip your waitress on your way out. And as that, we will close our story of Masters of Dread. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, as we will be kicking up our new adventure shortly. We're going to be making an announcement on that. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much for listening to our story. And if you would like to play with us, please join our Discord. And we have community games coming up where you can actually play in our future campaigns. So thank you so much, and good night.